Hello, I'm going to be showing you how to bunny hop in Portal 2. Now, bunny hopping can be a very fun way to move, and it isn't just for speedrunners. Is genuinely a fun thing to do. One thing I've noticed with tutorials, other tutorials are confusing and misleading, and they have like this software or like these mods that show keystrokes and velocity, and that stuff's all distracting. You do not need that stuff. I'm going to be showing a complete beginner's guide for noobs how to bunny hop. So yeah, let's start this. First we're gonna go into options and keyboard and mouse. Okay. I do not like reverse mouse. You can have it enabled if you want, if you really want. I personally don't like it. Mouse sensitivity. Yeah, just adjust that as you please. Raw mouse input, make sure this is enabled. Mouse acceleration is also enabled. Acceleration, you may also want to experiment and play with this as you go along, just to get the right feel for it. Developer console, also make sure this is enabled. Now that we have that, how to enable the developer console, push the what's it called? The backtick key. This is right next to 1, under escape. Right at the top left of the keyboard. That's how you enable it. And that's how you pull up the console. Now what you're going to want to do, if you don't already, we're going to bind the keys, so make it so a key does something. Bind M wheel up plus jump semicolon bind M wheel down plus jump bind Z plus zoom. I cannot type today. Now what this will do, there's a reason we're typing this in. This makes it so you can jump by binding. Okay, this makes it so you can jump by scrolling on the scroll wheel. This allows for much more precise jumping than using the spacebar. Now, since zooming uses the scroll wheel by default, you're gonna need to rebind the zoom to a different key. I choose Z because that's what I'm used to, because that's how you zoom in Half-Life 2, so that is what I'm using. Now, I already have all this stuff, so you can hit enter, but those are already the settings I have. So now, with all of that crap out of the way, all that introductory stuff, we can get right into the basics of learning how to bunny hop. Okay, now that we have all the settings figured out, just loaded up a Portal 2 map. This is SPA1 SP underscore A1 underscore laser underscore chaining. I want to be technical. This is test chamber 19. This is in the chapter The Surprise. This is a nice big room that's very good for practice. Ideal conditions for practicing bunny hopping. Nice big rooms or long hallways, and this is both, honestly. This is a very good place to... Okay. Getting ahead of myself, though. First, we need to learn what basic concepts are. There's strafing. Okay, and there's air strafing and strafe jumping. You probably are wondering, like, what the hell is strafing? Well, probably not. Most people who play first-person shooters know what strafing is, but... basically strafing is just moving from side to side, like this. Pushing the sideways key to distinguish it from moving forward and backwards. Strafing is sideways movement. So pushing the A or the D key, if you have it configured to WASD, which is usually the default. On a keyboard, at least. And then there's air strafing. Air strafing. Strafing while you're in the air allows you to move faster in this version of the Source engine than you usually would be able to. Like if you try and move forward, you will not be able to move quite as far as you would if you were strafing in air. It allows for more control. So yeah, that's what air strafing is. Now we get into strafe jumping. That's basically jumping into an air strafe, but it is so much more than that. It is the basic building block of bunny hopping. So we need to master the strafe jump before we can even begin to try and bunny hop. Strafe jumping maintains and accumulates momentum. That's mass and velocity. If the jump is timed properly, if the jump is timed properly, it's a higher velocity than a normal jump. So, strafe jumping basically move forward, but then hit a strafe key. You can do a left or right. For this, I'm going to start out doing right. So, what I just did is a right strafe jump. You can jump a little bit, ever so slightly, faster and further than if it was a standard jump. But you have to move, or look towards the direction you're strafing while you're doing it. And it cannot be too much. It just has to be the right amount, like very subtle. So we can do right, left. You can either just go pure strafe jump, like start strafing, or you can sort of walk into it and then strafe at the last second. That usually makes it easier to aim your trajectory or whatever, but yeah, this is what strafe jumping is. It is very crucial to learn how you strafe jump before you try and bunny hop. Now, there's one last thing we need to learn before trying to bunny hop. This is wall strafing. Wall strafing is actually really easy to do, surprisingly easy. So it's basically look in the direction you're trying to go up against a wall, and then you strafe against the wall while moving forward, and you will be able to go a little bit faster than just normal walking. So like, this is without wall strafing. Now this is with. Like, it's very subtle. You'll just be able to move a little bit faster while wall strafing than just forward. So that is it for strafing. Next, we can learn about bunny hopping. Bunny hopping is a smooth chain of strafe jumps. So practice mastering the strafe jump as we have. Just keep practicing until you're comfortable with it. Because this is what bunny hops are made of. These are fundamental. If you do not know how to strafe jump, you will not be able to bunny hop. It is really that simple. But once you're comfortable with those, if you time it just right, you can chain them together to create another movement. And this is what makes bunny hops. Very specific movement. Now, do not overthink about keystrokes. Keystrokes are just, they're not needed to overthink about. Seriously, overthinking about them, it makes it so you're like, oh, what do I have to push, the A key or the D key? Oh, I don't know. Like, it just needs to come natural. So just practice the movement. And it doesn't even have to just be alternating either. Like alternating is a standard way because it's, you know, straightforward. But you can, if you have a big enough area like this is why I chose this, you can chain the same direction together if you do it right. I kind of screwed that up there, but if you do the strafe jumps correctly, you can get a little bit extra velocity at the beginning. Anyway, those are the very basics of bunny hopping. Now to load up a different map. Okay, this is the beginning of Chapter 7, the reunion. The reason I choose this map, it is excellent for beginning to bunny hop because it has a music indication if you're bunny hopping. If you're moving just a little bit faster than normal, so like when you're bunny hopping, you can hear the music cue as if you're flying through the air. So obviously, if you're trying to bunny hop like an idiot like this, you can't hear us, so you must be doing it wrong. But if we use the chaining of strafe jump technique we used before, oh, you can hear it. We're doing it right. And it can be in any combination of left or right strafe jumps. Just so long as your trajectory is not too drastically altered, because that can and will screw you up if you do that. But yeah, the reason this map is so good for complete beginners bunny hopping is because of that music cue. It lets you know. Like, obviously it's for the speed gel, because if you run on this speed gel, it'll also do that. But before you even do that, a good bunny hop, that will also trigger it. Okay, so here are some common mistakes that can happen while you're Now, one of the most common beginner mistakes for bunny hopping is holding down the forward movement key. This is usually W. If you move forward while trying to bunny hop, you will not pick up any extra speed at all. It completely nullifies that. You have to just be doing strafe jumps. You cannot be moving forward while you're doing it. That is one common beginner mistake. Another common mistake, very jagged or wide mouse movements, sudden drastic alterations to your trajectory. So like, if I try to do a 180 or something, or hell, even a 90 degree, any sharp angle that you're trying to do, that will make you lose your speed. You will not be able to do a good bunny hop if you are trying to do sharp turns and stuff. So it has to be very smooth, subtle curves. And yeah, just get the feel of that. If that doesn't work, try lowering your mouse sensitivity, the acceleration and stuff. Just try and make your strafe jumps a little smoother. Next, this is probably the biggest one. Improperly timed jumps. Like, you can be the best bunny hopper in the world. You can still screw up on the timing a little bit, and it'll totally mess up your bunny hop, stopping it dead in its tracks. You do not want that. The reason I highly recommend you also have it so the scroll wheel jumps is because you'll be able to do much more precise timing with your jumps. You need to minimize the ground time, because if you're just, do it a little too late, you'll just lose all your speed. Jump too early, also lose too much speed. You need to jump at the precise moment you're on the ground, or start scrolling a little bit before, because each scroll notch does its own jump. That's why it's so useful to have the scroll wheel instead of spacebar B. Anyway, yeah. So those are most common mistakes. Holding forward while trying to do it, too sudden jagged movements, or improperly timed jumps. Yeah, those are the 3 biggest beginner mistakes. So, before we go, just remember, mastering basic strafe jumping is the key to a good bunny hop. You do not have bunny hops without strafe jumps. That is what they're composed of. Like a protein composed of amino acids. You need to chain them together. Strafe jumps. Practicing is the only way to get better. If you don't practice, you will be a shitty bunny hopper. You will not be good. Unless, you put in the effort and try and get good at it. As for pretty much anything. Anyway, if you get frustrated, don't give up. Don't rage quit. I made this mistake when I was trying to learn how to bunny hop a long time ago when I was a kid. I got frustrated. I could never figure it out until recently. And now I'm trying to share that knowledge with you. So if you get frustrated, just take a break and don't give up. Just keep on trying until you run out of cake. Anyway, yeah, that's how you do basic bunny hopping. for noobs. Hopefully you find this information useful. Bye!